We're just going to start by rolling your blanket up, making a nice little bolster here. We're going to do some heart openers today, and maybe slow down a little bit, not get quite as wild as we were last week. So bring your little bolster right up to the edge of your back and then roll back over it. And you might have to wiggle around to find that sweet spot in your back and neck. And then just play with your core a little bit and figure out whether or not you need to leave your feet in standing. And if they are in standing, let the knees drop together. If you have the space to lengthen out your legs, then lengthen them out. And be mindful to honor your body. That you don't have to do what I'm doing, that you can do what works for you. So as I'm a wiggler, so I wiggle around a lot to find where this feels super yummy for me. And then take the hands up straight in front of you. Open them wide. And then bring those elbows in so that you're in a cactus. All right, so this actually changes the posture a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in. Blow it out. And then play with all of this. There's a little bit of settling in that has to happen as we work through it. I find that today my body is requesting that my feet be in standing, my knees are dropping together. It says, don't do everything at once, do your heart space first. So by bending at the elbows, making your arms come into cactus pose, or also some people will know it as football field goal pose. That actually gives the pectoralis major and minor some space to open. So notice, where is your body holding? Just notice it. Are you breathing or are you holding your breath? Sometimes heart openers actually cause us to hold our breath. So what would it feel like to bring the air in and out of your lungs? So find the pause. Find the pause and drop into it. Notice what it feels like. And then begin to notice your breath, bringing it in and out, slowing it down. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Notice where you feel this. If you feel this in your pec muscles, bring your air to that point. If you feel it in your forearms, bring it there. Notice what's happening in the hips. Is the pelvic floor engaged? Notice if you're holding on. Where are you holding? What in this moment can you let go of? What is necessary to be held on to? It doesn't matter, just notice. And then begin to drop into noticing your breath. Begin inhaling and deepening the breath. We're going to bring in a count of 4 on the inhale and 8 on the exhale. So inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. And I'm going to be quiet and let you go on your own. We'll do 5 rounds. Last round, all the way through. And returning to normal breath. Inhaling, drawing those arms in, crossing the right elbow underneath the left one. Give yourself a big hug, just to counterpose what's happening here. And then walk those feet in together if your feet are in standing. If they're not in standing, bring them to standing. Walk them in, let them be close together. Engage that pelvic floor. Lift up through the elbows as if you're going to cover your face up. Take a big deep breath in and exhale it down. We're going to do 2 more of these. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. Opening your arms wide into a T position all the way. Feel those shoulder blades wrap around the blanket. Engage that core and open those feet into supine goddess. So right here. Now remember, supine goddess might be supine wannabe goddess, and that's okay. If your knees are up here, let them be up here. Notice if you're holding on, or if maybe the bone structure is stopping you from opening your legs. In men especially, we are built different in the pelvis. Men have a more narrow pelvis, so their knees don't fall open. Women are built this way. We give birth, so it's more easy for the knees and the joints of the hips to open. And if you find that you're grabbing in the groin, see if you can bring your breath to that point and soften into it. Opening this root chakra. Imagine opening the sacral chakra. That's the second chakra. Falls between the belly button and the pubic bone. Breathe into it. This is where our creative nature lies. So opening the root chakra and opening the sacral chakra allows for creative birthing to happen. 2 more breaths, nice long. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, draw those knees together. Bring your arms in, crossing the left elbow underneath the right elbow. Give yourself a big hug. Again, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Notice how the ribs open as you inhale up. Inhale, lift those arms up. Lift the rib cage up. Feel it open. And exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale all the way up. Wonderful. Bringing your hands down beside you. Inhale your hands all the way up over your head. Notice how you still are wrapping around this blanket that you're lying on. Don't lose the core. You want to protect that low back. Breathe into it. What would it feel like if you brought your hands down and just placed your fingertips behind your head, pick it up slightly, and lengthen through the back of your neck? Get that sensation of growing long in the spine. And then bring your hands down beside you. Lengthen through the right leg, through the left leg, And take 3 nice, long, 3-part breath, Yoga breath. Inhaling, 2, 3. Exhaling, 2. Excellent. Walk your feet back up to standing. Engage that core. Roll off your blanket to the right side. Take a hold of it. Just move it right out of the way, rolling back onto the floor. Bring those knees in, giving yourself a little bit, excuse me, a break through that low back, rocking side to side. Beginning to open the knees into the armpits, allowing the hips to open, heading into happy baby. If you can reach the instep of your foot, do that. If that's not accessible, at your ankles. If that's still inaccessible, behind your knees, drawing them down. Dropping in, close your eyes. Dropping into happy baby. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Find your ujjayi breath. If the mind is talking to you, give it something to do. Mind the breath. One more, bring those heels together. Coming into supine cobbler, passing through that one long breath. Bringing those knees together, lengthening the legs up to the ceiling. And then just find where your edge here is in supine dandasana. Inviting those hamstrings in. Breathing into it. Dropping those knees down and begin to rock up and back, rolling along the spine, spinal rolls. So this stimulates a lot of things along the spine. And if this is not accessible to you, go ahead and come up and find yourself preparing for Dandasana, staff pose. We're going to do 3 more of these. It stimulates the adrenal glands. It wakes up the spine. 1 more. All the way up, lengthening through those legs, coming into staff pose. So right here, finding your way, bringing your hands down beside you, bring up nice and long, dropping out of the shoulders. Now, I found myself recently walking around looking like I had my nose up in the air because my neck's been bothering me. So bring that chin down, lengthen through the crown, growing long. Find your breath. Sometimes being in the stillness of in-between postures is where the work is. We spend a lot of time moving forward quickly. So I don't know whether you can see my feet or not, but work through your heels. Let the work be almost as if I was coming up around beside you and touching the bottom of your heels. Imagine my thumbs against the bottom of your heels. Now, work into the heels. Draw your toes toward your nose. Draw long in the spine, lengthening up. Imagine that you're touching, or maybe even touch the center of your head and lengthen up into that. Drop out of your shoulders, find your breath. Two more. Last one. And on the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward, leading with your heart, not your nose or your forehead. Let your hands come down. Mine are coming to my shins today. If you're flexible, you might be able to get a hold of your toes If you're super flexible, you might be able to get a hold of the outside edges of your feet and draw the feet in. So that's my visualization, even though my hands cannot reach that far, it's still going to visualize. So if you are not on the lengthwise of your mat, turn so that you are, and if your heels are off the mat, scooch back so that they're on your mat. Inhale, coming up, circling those arms around and bringing the fingertips to the base of your bottom, and inhaling, lifting straight up in reverse plank. Draw that pelvic floor up, lengthen through the crown. There's a slight tip of the chin to open the back of your neck and lift up through that pelvic floor, lifting yourself up. Find your breath. We're going to hang out here. 5 breaths, slow ones. Remember, you don't have to stay here. If it becomes more challenging than you want, come out of it. One more. Exhaling, lowering down, lengthening through those heels again, coming back into staff pose, passing through it. Hands come up, exhaling, driving forward. Notice if you can go deeper on the exhale into staff pose. Remember to lead with your heart, drop out of your shoulders. My shoulders are really involved today. They want to help. So if your shoulders are wanting to help, consciously make an effort to pull those shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen through your crown, tip the chin. Breathe into it. Excellent. Inhaling, bringing those hands up, circling around. Make it a big dynamic move, big circles. Get the entire shoulder joint involved. Bring those fingertips right up behind your bottom. Inhale, engage that core. Lift up, find your breath, draw out of your shoulders. 5 breaths. Exhaling, lowering down. Find your edge. Work to the edge. Maybe come off the edge. We in the US have a tendency to work to our edge and then push past our edge. What would it feel like to work to your edge and then back off and let it come to you rather than forcing? 3 more breaths. Notice as you open the front of the body, the back of the body responds by opening as well. 1 more breath. Last one, we're going to inhale those hands up. You can do this. Know your limit. Don't go past your limit. And if you find that your arms are tired, you can stay right here in Dandasana and let the work be through your wrists. Spread your fingertips, engage that core, lift up into plank. Notice as you find your edge, take it clear to the edge, all the way up. Find your breath, and then back off of it, just like a millimeter. Two more breaths. Last one, you can do it. Make a full expression and exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, coming all the way up, last Dandasana, all the way forward. What's happening? How's that opening the body? How's it opening your mind? Opening the lungs, opening the breath. Good, inhaling, coming up, exhaling the hands down, bringing that right knee in, opening up the knee wide, inhaling the hands up, exhaling, swan dive forward, reach for that knee. See the travel we love. Okay, good to know. Inhaling up, exhaling the hands down to the side, but then we're going to inhaling straight forward, bringing the left hand behind us, right hand coming to the outside of the knee, growing tall, twisting into it. Excellent. Inhaling the hand up, nice and tall, and then we're going to exhale to the right side. Coming back to center, exhaling, headed straight forward, headed towards that toe. Drying up, bringing that foot in to meet it, coming into cobbler's pose. Now, take a minute here as you find your sit bones and you sink down. Notice where you're feeling it. Notice which leg is more open. So when we do one side versus the other side, there's generally a definitive side that's different. Just notice. There's no judgment, it's just noticing. Excellent. Releasing out the left foot, keeping the right foot in. I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, okay. Inhaling the hands up, exhaling straight forward. Find your breath. Ujjayi breath is always a beautiful place. Create the ocean sound. Inhaling those hands up. We're going to bring that right hand behind us. Left hand comes on the outside of the right knee. Twist into it, grow tall. Look over that shoulder. Breathe in through. Excellent. Inhaling those hands up, headed laterally to the left side. So all sorts of things are being caught here. The IT band, relax. All the transverse muscle, down the eye, down, clearing the hip, the deep rotators, all of them. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling the hands down. Bring that other knee, that other foot in, and come back into cobblers. And notice what it feels like. Grow long in the crown and exhale, diving forward. Bringing those knees in. Now, if you have the space to just roll up from squat and stand, then do that. And if you don't, send those legs around and come up to standing. We're just going to go straight up to standing. Some people can just rock up on their feet and stand straight up. My knees just don't support that right now. So, for those of you, let's face the fireplace, okay? So we're going to take a nice wide step on our mat. So you want to be the long way on your mat, coming into 5-pointed star here. So first, take a minute and build from the ground up. Feel those feet lock into the earth. Pick up the toes, spread them out. Drop them down one at a time. Feel that tailbone drop underneath you. Lift up through the heart, shoulders are back and down. Grow up tall through the crown. Inhaling, open those hands wide into five-pointed star right here. Now, what would it feel like to draw those shoulder blades together? Breathe into it. This is the posture right here. So the work is through the rhomboids, okay? So the rhomboids are right between those shoulder blades. So even though those are coming together right there, I'm still gonna bring them down. So it's a sensation as if I'm gonna come up and put my hands on either side of the medial border of your shoulder blades, which is the middle, the side that is on the spine. And you're gonna draw those together and then draw them down. And then give a slight roll. Let your thumbs come up so that the star goes from being flat to being up. So it looks like we're gonna catch a big hug. Now, what does it feel like to take those thumbs behind you? Ooh, hello. Rotate those arms back. Now, take those thumbs and take them back and imagine that they're going to touch behind you. They won't, but imagine it. Feel that heart open. Feel those pec muscles open. We're going to do 3 more breaths. Where else are you holding on? I'm hanging on in the tail. In my fanny, it's clenching tight. So what would it feel like to engage that pelvic floor and let go of any muscles you don't need? And inhale, bring those thumbs back to the ceiling and back to the front of the room, and this time point them down to the floor. Now, scoop behind you. The arms are going to come down and you're going to clasp your hands behind you. So, as if you're preparing to hang on to each hand, you're holding your own hand. And we're going to lift straight up off of our back right here, okay? So continue to pull down through those shoulders. Go long through the crown. If you find that you begin to head with you, like get the head out in front of you, like this, bring that back over your shoulders. Bring that head back over your shoulders. Now, inhaling and exhaling, diving forward with your heart. Hands come up overhead. Now, if you can't reach your hands, you can always use a strap, a tie, a belt. Works at home. Breathe into it. Two more, you can do it. Let those arms drop over your head. Inhaling, lifting up, lowering them down. Shake out those arms. Give them some space. Hands come right down beside you. Turn your left toe. Go into left toe. No, let's do right toe first. Turn your right toe to face the front of the mat. Okay, heading into triangle. So bringing those hands up into a T position. Hinge at the hips. Reach for that front wall. The right hand is reaching for whatever wall's in front of you. Then just tip the body. Okay, so it's not going to be about going to the floor. It's going to be about tipping the body. All right, this is level 1 right here. Now, if you have this space and you want to lower down and you're not going to go forward, if you lose it because that top hand starts to come forward, come back out of it. And then slide to where you are. Now, I keep walking over because I have people in class with me too that I'm adjusting. So, triangle. Straighten this leg. Is this okay? Reach to the floor. Beautiful. Yeah. Hips are open. If you have your camera on, I'm going to check you. I'm going to look. Pull out of that front knee, make it strong and long. Excellent. So the benefit of having, if you're at home and you have your camera on and we're live, I can always check you by visually looking at you. And then you can imagine if I touch you. If I maybe put my hand on the top of your left hip and open you up, open those hips up. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, drawing up. Coming back into 5-pointed star. Go ahead and let your shoulders come down. Your arms come down. Give the shoulders a break. Come right here to the center. Hands on your hips. Drawing up through the crown. Engage that core. Exhaling, headed straight forward. I just want you to have a sense of how the left side feels different from the right side. Hands are going to stand on hips. And we're going to lengthen through that crown, kind of creating a nice flat back, holding yourself up with your pelvic floor. This in itself can be very strengthening for that core. Bring that belly back to the spine and continue to breathe. A lot of times we let our hands go to the floor and we'll just let the pelvic floor go. But let's just continue to engage that. Excellent. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhaling, drawing up. Spinning through the left foot. Okay, so remember, triangle. We have 2 long legs. No locking in the knee. You okay over there? Okay. Do a couple hinges in the hips. Just my left side's way more tighter than my right side. So I always do a couple hinges just to open up that groin muscle of my left leg. Inhaling those hands up, opening wide, hinge at the hips, and then tip into it. Level 1 is right here. No sliding down. Level 2, if you have the space, you can slide down. And level 3, you can get all crazy and put your hand behind you and stand on one leg. Or we can just hang out here and breathe into it. Tip through your chin, opening the back of your neck, growing long in the crown. Imagine that long line of energy from the left hand at the floor all the way up to the right fingertips at the sky. Inhaling, drawing up, tipping out of it. Feet come to the center, hands are still out, 5-pointed star. Exhaling, this time let your arms travel down in front of you. Right in front of you. Breathing into it. Growing long in your crown. Close your eyes, drop in. So now imagine that you're lifting up through your tail, locking your feet into the floor, spinning your knees open. The work is in the foundation. Now begin to sink back and walk those hands back. And if the floor is inaccessible to you, hands on your shins. That works. If the floor is accessible, begin to walk back. And if you're super stretching, you can put your head on the floor, the crown of your head on the floor. You can do that. Breathing into it. So from right here, let your hands be even with about your toes. So if it was a road map, your hands are parallel to your toes. And engage that pelvic floor, and without hinging the hips, walk those hands to the right foot. So a lot of times we begin to fall out of our hips when we do this. But this is really more of a twist. It's a gentle twist. It gets the outside edge of the leg. It gets peroneals in the lower leg. It gets all the muscles around the knee, not to mention the muscles in the low back. Breathing into it. Begin to walk back to center. Exhaling, walking the other direction. Spreading those knees open, engaging the core, all those little things that we have. Coming back to center. Engage that core, left hand on your hip, lengthen through the crown, right hand on your hip, coming up, right here. Spinning into that right foot again, heading back into triangle. So notice where you are, drop out of the shoulders, inhale those hands up into T position, reach for the front wall. Exhaling, tipping into triangle right here. Taking this top hand, inhaling and bringing it behind your back. Open that shoulder. And if you have the space to reach that front arm, the right arm, and hook on your upper arm, do that. I'm not quite flexible enough to do that in this shoulder. Look over your top shoulder. Deep twist here. Find your breath. Open that heart. Excellent. Inhaling that hand up, reaching to the sky. Engage that core. Bring that hand down to meet the right hand right here. So now we're looking at our foot. So for those of you who are super stretchy, you might be able to put your hand on the floor. I'm going to hang on to my shin. Engage that core. Inhale, open the right hand, reverse triangle. Remember, it may not look pretty, it may not even go far. Just do your very best. Breathing into it. Inhaling, bringing that hand back down. So both hands are on the front leg. Breathe into it. Inhaling, opening that left arm up, coming back into triangle. Nice and slow here. Little balance happening. Inhaling, coming up and out. Exhaling the hands down. Good work. We're going to spin back to the front into five-pointed star. Just for passing through sakes, find your star. Double check, make sure your knees are doing okay, core is engaged. If you lose your core in these, it does compromise the knees, so keep that core engaged. Hands come down. Spin around into the other foot. Now, make sure that as you're spinning into your left foot, that you're adjusting the right heel too. You'll notice that my back foot has a little bit of an angle to it. If you attempt to do this with your foot parallel with the mat, it's pretty hard in the hips. So inhaling, opening those hands. Exhaling, sliding across the body. Tipping into triangle. Whoop. A little dizzy today in my head, so be mindful of that. Find a point to look at. A little bit of balance happening here. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale, bring that hand behind you. Circling it around. If you can reach that humerus, then do the top of your left arm, then do that. If you have the space to look over your right shoulder, do that. Breathing into it. Honoring where your body is. Where are you today? You may or may not be here. It's okay. You're on your mat. That's what matters. Inhaling that hand back up. Exhaling, slowly begin to bring it down. Pause right here. Pause right here. Engage that core. Open that left hand. Big dynamic move here, going clear all the way around the spine. Breathing into it. Exhaling that hand down. Inhaling. Coming back into triangle and coming up. Exhaling those hands up. Releasing them down. How are we doing? Okay. Coming back to 5-pointed star. Begin to walk your feet in, or you can jump if you want. Or you can come right here. So if you're facing the long way on your mat and you want to turn to come to the front of your mat, we're going to take our hands and inhale them up right. And exhaling them down into full mountain. Just coming into mountain. Feet are hip distance apart underneath the points of your hips. So when I want hip distance apart, here's the bony part of your hips. It's kind of in the front. And you want your second toe underneath wherever your fingertips are here. Pick those toes up. Soften the knees, but they're straight. One toe down. Number 4 toe down. Number 3 toe down. Number 2 toe down. Number 1 toe down. So that's the goal. Now, as they all come down, they're gently setting down. They're not gripping the floor. If you're gripping the floor, feel yourself roll back into your feet. Even weight all across the feet. Drop out of your shoulders. Breathe into it. Pausing in mountain. Find your breath. Go long in your crown. And if the mind is asking you, what are we doing? We're hanging out in the mountain. Noticing the pause. Embracing what is. Excellent. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale our hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. If you have to bend your knees, touch the floor, do. If you don't have to, then don't. Exhale all the way up, tipping clear into forward fold. Softening the knees and stepping back and down facing dog. Find your dog. If you have to walk into it, walk into it. Sometimes it just feels really good to the muscle to walk into it. And then feel that heart work to the knees. Feel the heels work to the floor. Feel the tail work to the side. And remember, let go of your head. There's no holding that has to happen in the neck. Breathe into it. Draw those heels together, open the knees, lower all the way down to the floor, and sink back into child pose. All the way back. And remember, if you have knee issues, don't sink so far back. Honor that. If you have trouble sinking into child's pose, you can always support yourself by putting your blanket right across, right behind your knees, right behind it, and then sit back on the blanket. Let your forehead connect to the floor, to the mat, and imagine there's a door right there in the front of your forehead. You're going to open that door and let anything you no longer need pour out of your head into the earth. Unnecessary thoughts, unnecessary baggage. What's yours? What's not yours? Doesn't matter. If you no longer need it, let it go. Pour it into the earth. Mother Earth will support you. Excellent. Inhaling, coming up and turning around, coming to seated with your feet in standing. Find your sit bones. Feet are in standing right here. We're going to do just a teeny little bit of core work on our way to the floor. So shoulders are down, bring long in your crown. Back is nice and long. Hands come out beside you. We're going to take it about halfway back. So I work from here because I'm still working on a couple of things in my body. I'm going to show you a couple different levels and then you choose where you want to work. So we're going to do a little bit of work from here and we're going to lift the right leg and then the left leg. And this is the work from level 1. Okay? Level 2, you're going to bring your feet up here and you're going to work by lifting back and forth. Level 3, I'm not even going to show you, but you can straighten your legs and you lower your leg down to the floor one at a time. So find your level. I'm working from level 1. This is enough for me today. So find your breath. So I'm inhaling on, let's see. Inhaling on the lowering down, exhaling as it comes up. Two more. And bring it in, scoop it around right here. So you can see that even level 1 can be very challenging. Level 2 is super challenging. Level 3 is for those of you who do core work all the time. That would not be me. I do it sometimes. Good job. Inhaling, coming up nice and tall. Rolling all the way back, bringing your knees with you. Coming back onto the floor. Flatten back. Imagine that you're growing wide across the back. Wide through the shoulders. It's like you're spreading your body out on the floor. You're melting into the floor. Bring those knees in. Set them down in standing. Walking that left foot in close to your behind, crossing the right foot over that left knee. Hands come in between your legs and lift up that foot. Work through your left heel. Let your right elbow meet your right leg and open that hip up. So this is actually pigeon lying on the floor. So if we were flipped over and standing and came into pigeon, this is similar to what it would look like. We would point the toe. And the flexibility it gives us of lying on our back is we can flex the toe. This whole while, we're working to draw that leg in closer to our nose and point the toe. And flex the toe. Now let's do a couple circles. Because we can. And reverse it. Great. And lower it down. Now, from right here, open that knee as wide as you possibly can get it. So we went from the deep rotators to the groin and the adductors, which run from the inside of the knee to the pubic bone. And set the foot down and cross the left foot over. Open that knee. Ooh, hello. Can you notice the difference from the right side to the left side? I can. Breathe into it. Bring those hands in between. Opening that left knee with your left elbow and draw the right knee up. Coming into pigeon. We're going to start with the foot flats. Draw it in. Where can you feel it? Bring your breath there. Point the toe. Draw the toe in. Feel that heel reach for the ceiling. Draw that leg in a little closer to you. Put a little more pressure on that elbow into the knee. Point the toe. Flex the toe. Breathing into it. Circle that foot around. Notice where you can feel it in that leg. So every time I move my foot, I can feel it all the way up into my hip. And reverse it. And flex the foot. And lower it down. Bringing it down. Open that knee a little bit wider. Take that foot, set it next to the other foot. Whack them open, the width of the mat. Okay, engage that pelvic floor so you're gonna roll flat on the back. Open the arms wide. Inhale, exhale, lower the knees to the right. Now, if you want to deepen this, you can take the right foot and place it on top of the left knee. And that really deepens this. Make sure your pelvic floor is engaged. You may look at your left hand. Breathing into it. Inhaling, bringing your nose back to center, taking that foot off the knee. Drawing everything back to center. Make sure you're flat. Double check that core. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Exhale, lower the knees to the left. Get here first. Let it be a journey. Try level one, especially for those of us who work at the deeper levels. Back up. What does it feel like to come back to the beginning? Inhaling, turning the nose to face the left hand. And now if you want to deepen this, you can bring that left foot up on top of the right knee. Be mindful if you have any knee injuries to honor them. Okay? Work at what level you want. You might go into a deeper level and be like, okay, that's enough, and go back to level one, or go into level 3 and then go back to level 2. It's okay. Breathing into it. Inhaling, drop your nose back to center. Opening the knees back up. Walking those feet in fairly close to the behind, but make sure you're flat on the floor for this next one and that there's nothing in your way. Bring those knees together, lengthening through the crown of your head, drawing in through the belly button and the core. Inhale, exhale, open those knees. Bringing those hands to cactus or field goal. Supine goddess. So this is where we started right here. But we were on our blanket, so now we're on the floor. What is it that you no longer need to hold on to? Pelvic floor is definitely a good thing to continue to encourage it to be strong, but not necessarily holding on to it. We want to be supported, but not necessarily so supported that we can't move, so rigid. Supported and strong. On the next inhale, bring those knees in together. Slide the hands up overhead. Lengthen through the right foot, through the left foot. Take a nice deep breath in. Inhale. Reach, 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 reach. Inhale. Let it go with a big sigh. And after the sigh, in the pause, what else does your body need? Do you need another twist? Let this be your meditation and emotion. So no looking at me, only looking within. Close your eyes. Honor what your body needs. We're going to take a minute and do this. Just feel it. You may not need anything except Shavasana, and that's okay too. Well, honor what it is your body needs. Sometimes it needs more twisting. Sometimes, when there's been no downward facing dog, it really wants a dog. But as you honor your own self, do it in a way that requires no guidance except from the body. And then as you're ready, find your way into Shavasana, lengthening through the right leg and then through the left leg. Allowing your feet to fall open or your knees to fall together. So knees fall together when your feet are in standing. Feel that core soften and let go. The breath begins to just move naturally. The eyes grow heavy. And the mind slips between here and there as the palms open to receive whatever the universe has. The pause. Stop. Listen. Notice the stillness or the busyness. Breathe. Attached to nothing. Simply notice. From this point, the point of noticing, take one step. Pause. Notice. It is from this point that we notice and find our way. Sorry, gently begin to breathe deep.
My alarm. In the morning.
Apparently yoga is over now. Sorry, I don't know why that was on. Begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And as you're ready, roll your side. Find yourself coming up. Namaste.